Allianz Field for what could be his farewell appearance. A record crowd assembling in this futuristic theatre of football.
And that biggest question for Scalotto tonight is, can they stop Minnesota that's only got 10 goals in the last 10 games? Well, what does he do? He starts 4 center backs. Romney will play left back. Gonzalez will play right back. Steres, Polenta. None of these 4 are going to go forward. Scalotto wants them to hold around, stay in there, and then have their man, Perry Kitchen, in only his 7th start of 2019, to sit in front and let Dos Santos and Lletget to fill the gaps in the midfield.
And in fact, in Perry Kitchen, you've got a player who in college was a centre-back, so it's 5 central defenders in the lineup tonight.
Absolutely, and it's almost as if they're going to attack with 5, defend with 5, and it's about Pavone and Antuna supporting Ibrahimovic up front. But when you look at Zlatan's 2019, it's been...
You've won everywhere you've been, Zlatan. If you were to leave MLS without MLS Cup, would you feel you were a success here?
Still the best in history in MLS, no worries.
Thank you, Zlatan. Appreciate the time.
When the modest gene was dished out, I think he was in the wrong queue. But here he is with his mind very much focused on the task ahead. We just don't know. It could be his valedictory performance. It could be another glorious evening.
Draft picks, they're winners, and they want to show up on any given night, and you're going to get that tonight.
But what we're not going to get, not from the start at least, is their talismanic player Darwin Quintero, who's been ill the past few days.
Yes, he was out of the starting lineup for the Open Cup final, which you and I did, so I think the onus now is on Finley, Molino, and Lod supporting Rodriguez going forward. If LA Galaxy are going to sit in and defend, those 3 got to support Rodriguez going forward.
Tonight, both metaphorical and at the moment literal, after 1 or 2 flares were let off in the minutes ahead of kickoff. Nothing at all harmful or worrying, but just the fervour and the energy of the first ever playoff night in Minnesota. And this is Diego Polenta turning the ball back to the Galaxy.
Into this one, LA's having a little bit of rhythm going forward.
And they have an initial position of promise. And an early indication of whether Zlatan is in the mood. Here's Ibrahimovic. It's appeared to take a deflection. Zlatan is saying, look, there's a case there for a corner, but Ted Uncle has given a goal kick.
That took a deflection. Because he's trying to whip this to that near post on Rodriguez. That ball hit Rodriguez right in the middle of the leg.
Alonso, cleverly done. Chase Gasper. In towards Rodriguez. It'll still fall for Molino. And Learn challenging. Polenta got his boot to it. And a foul. We should add our congratulations to those of many others to Ika Para for being voted. Ján Greguš to take this. He's given it every chance, and Boxall's header.
Greguš with a wonderful ball in. I think Michael Boxall was a little surprised he was wide open. Doesn't time his jump right, but look at Greguš and that ball in. 12 assists on the year, and a big part of it is the ability to take set pieces.
And supporters enjoyed that. And still had time to sneak back home to his home city of Malmo last week for the unveiling of a statue. It wasn't really his sort of event. He doesn't like the spotlight or the attention, but he did then compare it to the Statue of Liberty.
Well, the United States has the Statue of Liberty, and as he said, Sweden's got the statue of Zlatan.
It's all about perspective. Ibrahimovic. It's enough to concern Vito Manone.
It's too sloppy from Minnesota United. This is the unpredictability of the LA Galaxy attack. They want to turn the ball over and try to find their 38-year-old in the half of space. Greguš with a bad layoff. And for the first time in this half, we've seen Zlatan with a half a yard, not on a set piece, get an opportunity to test. Manone, sloppy from Ján Greguš. Shadows at the moment. That always gave me a little extra confidence as an attacker. You know what? We're pushing the right buttons. We've got to keep it going here. The final ball really lacking from Minnesota United.
Great pass by Ibrahimovic. Here's Antuna. And what a recovery block by Roman Metanir.
Just a great ball forward from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And Metanir has had his way going forward. We've seen him very little on the defending side of things. He's got to recover. Goalless. Does he try to push the envelope a little bit and win that game? Because because that man right there is 38 years old.
Metanir. Rodriguez. There's the art of the hold-up. Now Metanir. Lovely ball in, and Rodriguez should have polished it off. And therein lies his weakness.
He does all the little things well. Hold-up play, spacing, occupying center backs. This play starts because of his hold-up play. But he hasn't scored in his last 11 games. Last 11 games. The one hole in Angelo Rodriguez's game is the final play. That ball is an absolute sitter. That ball perfectly to limit that space for...
Santos. Ibrahimovic. These post-season playoffs. Pavon. Pavon. Ibrahimovic and Lletget. Past the flailing arms of an exposed goalkeeper. And Sebastian Lletget, who bagged the winner against Minnesota in March.
Flat-footed defending from Minnesota United in front of Manone. And ton of credit here to Sebastian Lletget for recognizing the situation and filling in the gaps. Too often they rely on Zlatan, and when the ball's whipped in, what can their big man do up front? But you've got to see the play through. The block here from Boxel, but Lletget making that third run inside the 18 gives the LA Galaxy a huge goal here on the road. What a big goal that is, because it goes against their DNA, chasing a game, and our target comes off an awful giveaway from Darwin Quintero. He loses possession, Pavon's going the other way, and Zlatan doesn't even recognize it, but that ball falls to his feet. What a huge save from Manone, Minnesota United. You would have bet your house that ball ends up in the back of the net.
Ibrahimovic, in fact, has had one of his least lethal nights that I can remember. Dos Santos. Oh, he's curled it beautifully. And it's looking more and more like LA. A piece of Mexican magic. And in the space of 4 minutes, Minnesota's world has more or less fallen apart.
And so much of 2019 is going to be remembered for the 38-year-old Zlatan Ibrahimovic scoring 30 goals. But I'll make an argument right now. Zlatan may be the most valuable, but the most important player to the LA Galaxy is Jonathan Dos Santos. He's had a revival in his career from Mexico, but he's done so many important things for Schelotto. Tonight, he's played in front. He's been a connector. He's been more of a number 8, not a number 6. A huge part of the LA Galaxy.
Now staring down a double barrel.
Just no real pressure on Alessandrini. Dos Santos fills the gaps very well. But Metanir doesn't come in. Icapara's late to react. They needed a performance from the supporting cast because Zlatan hasn't been on his game. What a big goal from Dos Santos. It's going against the grain for both Adrian Heath and the fans here.
Clean sheets are virtually unheard of for the Galaxy. This is Ibrahimovic. Quintero. Laid back for Ján Greguš. Still hope. Still a slither of a possibility for Minnesota.
Life is now back into Minnesota United. Finally, some composure in the final third. And to no surprise, it's Darwin Quintero picking up his head, finding the vulnerable spot for for LA Galaxy. And Greguš steps into this one perfectly, and that ball's in the back of the net, and Minnesota United is right back into this one. LA Galaxy gave up 59 goals in the regular season.
And this is what a season can boil down to. 8 months of hard labour. Now, just looking for one stroke of luck. In by Quintero. Apara rising. Polenta gets to it first for the Galaxy. And the goal Boxall has to hit and to hope. The whistle from Ted Uncle, and Minnesota's dream dies. It will be the LA Galaxy facing those noisy neighbours again. A third LA derby of the season looms on Thursday night at Bank of California Stadium. A 13-game unbeaten sequence at Allianz Field, broken by the LA Galaxy, not for once by Ibrahimovic, but by some of the supporting cast. The goals from Lletget and Dos Santos. It's the Galaxy who progress.
And Schelotto had to roll the dice. They were a fragile team, giving up 8 goals in the last 2 games against teams that weren't in the playoffs in Vancouver and Houston. So he had to roll the dice. He played 4 center backs, 2 of them. Then Zlatan Ibrahimovic and the LA Galaxy, now a fragile team. They've got to chase the game. But the better team did win tonight with the chances. The more efficient team did. Credit to the